I'm from Gen X. We did things differently. But, that word. However, there's a lot of things that were good in Gen X that I'm trying to keep the flame going for the next generation, and hopefully for the next generation, the next generation, you know. That's how evolution changes, you know. You take the good and keep passing it down. You don't take the bad and pass it down. You know, deep down your heart, that my channel doesn't suck, nor does that person's channel suck that you put a comment on. Do you know why you said that? I'll tell you why. You don't like seeing people successful. Straight up to you. It's not about what you think, because your opinion is your opinion. But you need to sit there and plaster like everyone. Look at me. I got an opinion here in this room. I want to say something. Oh yeah? What do you want to say? This channel sucks. This person sucks. Thank you for your feedback. Now please leave. Right. Guess who's back? Feeling good today because walking. So I start the walks. I feel guilty when I don't go walking now. So you see, when you break a habit, you get a new habit, and it feels good though, because it means I'm staying pumped, baby. It means I'm staying motivated, baby. Now, today, what we're gonna talk about. So, bear with me as we go on this journey today. Right, first things first. Now, yesterday I released a emotional video, and I apologize if anybody found it too emotional for them to handle, but that word. However, I feel better now. Why? Because I talked about it. So this is my message to you. You see, when you talk about things and get off your chest, you feel better. And when you feel better, you can keep going forward faster. So I had to let it out because all my life I never talked about closure, and I've always kept it in, locked the cap on it, and just didn't let it out, right? So when you let things stay stuck inside deep for so long, it starts to overflow and affect you in life. So I guess that you have to understand that if you don't open up and let that pressure release, let the valve do its thing, you're not going to make any improvements or change. So hold on a second.
Stay to the right, over that side, over that side. Thank you.
No worry, buddy. So anything that holds a lot of pressure, it's got to give. And we as humans need to understand that we need to release that pressure. You know, now I can talk about it easier than I could talk about it when I released that video. Why? It's because I had to get the emotional challenge out, and now it's out. I feel better, and now I can breathe more better. So my message to you out there, if you're holding it in, let it out. If you can't talk about it, write it down. That's why I started poetry in my life as a kid. I used to write poetry of how I felt and how to get out of dark moments, or how to overcome certain challenges that were hurting me and breaking me as a person. By the way, when we talk about broken person, I'm a broken person, but I fixed myself alone. In this life, I fixed myself. I glued myself back together, kind of like a puzzle that was smashed into so many pieces, and you could put the puzzle back, but there were some parts just wouldn't fit because of where that part has to go. So that's where I am today, stronger than ever, because I put myself back together. So how are we feeling? Far better than I used to feel. Is it a good thing? Hell yeah, it's a good thing, because I'm ready. I'm ready to help. I'm ready to get people up and going, you know. I'm ready to sit there and make a change. I can only make a change if I start the change. How can you make a change if you're not willing to change? So first things first, start with you. Go deep down inside, break away all these things that stopped you going forward. Put them down, list them out. See which part you want to work on first, and take it step by step Don't go in all blazing thinking you can do it from day one. You can't, you know? It's like when I start this journey. When I start this journey to make a change in my life as a lifestyle, I'm talking about food. When I took on that challenge, I created a new lifestyle that was owed to me by me, nobody else. So I put the plan in place, start weighing out the challenges and obstacles that I may face and just put them as improvements. They're not challenges. I don't care about challenges anymore because there's only one way, and that's up. And there's only one way, straight ahead. And that's where I'm going, baby. Straight up, straight ahead. I feel good, you see. This is the part I was trying to teach you all about me. If you watch my videos, I told you there'll be days I'm up and there'll be days I'm down. There'll be days I don't know what's going around. And there'll be days I just feel like a clown. But guess what? I'm me. At least you can see every view angle of me. The good days, the bad days. But you see me. You know, I was looking at the video I released yesterday about, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? Anyway, toxic positivity and so forth. Now I wanted to add humor to that because I like and love making people laugh. I love bringing smiles to people's faces. And you know what's funny? I watched them videos and I couldn't stop laughing to myself. I was like, that just got me going. So I'm hoping to have the same effect on you. Now, what I want to do is say this. When I talked about that video, when I was talking in that video, I didn't mean to offend anybody. That's not my intention here. I'm not here to offend anyone, by the way. Life is too short to start offending people or making people take my context out of place and thinking they can assume what they want to think or assume what they want to assume. But that's not my point here. The point was, is I want to make people laugh and smile. And when I talk about toxic positivity, if I simplify it to make you understand what I mean by toxic positivity, I'll tell you this way. Now this is the real part. You know, I don't want you to laugh, but this is why I want to correct that so people don't misunderstand it. What do I mean by toxic positivity? Now, my theory, my way, this is what I'm going to say. Somebody who learns about positivity doesn't understand how to be positive, so they put a mask on, right? Because they know inside that's not them. And they try to be someone they're not. And they think they learn a few new tricks or skills and they start going in full steam ahead, full energizing, like, yes, I'm going to do this and I can do this. But they don't realize it's toxic because you're killing it. You're going overboard in it so much that you forgot about balance, which I said in my videos. It's all about balance, right? So how do you manage that? You know, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, and I've had some comments saying, you know, I used to be one of them, or that's talking about me. Honestly, on my heart, I swear to God, I'm not talking about anybody. I'm just trying to bring humor to what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to bring humor to people that are watching because we need to laugh, people. We can't sit there, you know, we have a stressful life. We have a stressful job. We have stressful, all this stress. It will kill you. You need to relax. You need to laugh. You need to go sit back and maybe watch somebody who's going to make me laugh today, make me smile. Because I'm done with this miserable people, miserable life, and, you know, bringing some humor to life. So, toxic positivity to me is somebody trying to be positive and they don't know how to do it and they're just killing it. And they're killing the word positivity, which, where that comes from. So, I hope that's clear now. And I hope you understood what I mean by toxic positivity. Again, I don't mean to diss anybody. I ain't sitting there offending anybody. I'm just telling you how me thinks and how me wants to say it. But I bring humor to it. And I bring some laughter into it. And I bring some that made me laugh into it, you know? So, where does the funny side come from? I don't know. I guess growing up as a child, all I was doing, making people laugh. So I put a twist into it, you know? Kind of like comedians today. I had a dream once. I said, I could be a comedian, you know, because I've got a sense of humor for it. But that dream didn't happen. So what else did I want to be in life? Yes. I wanted to be a lawyer. That didn't work out. I wanted to be a judge. That didn't work out. I wanted to be a psychiatrist. That definitely didn't work out because there's a topic on that I'm going to talk about one day. So, what else do you want to be? Well, after I've continued on this journey with you guys so far, before starting this channel, I already knew where I wanted to go. And I was thinking, what do I need to be that? So I looked it up, like everyone does. Open Google and start searching, thinking, right, what does it take to be blah, 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 blah. And I discovered there ain't something you need to be that, because it's still a new zone, a new area to actually certify it. So I was like, right, that means I'm already there. So I need to work on your skills, baby, your skills. What's those skills? The camera, fool. Oh yeah, the camera. I need to sit there and work out how I work this camera. And what do I mean by working the camera? Is sitting behind this lens and talking to you out there. And you think of it as a whole stage. You're standing on stage. You're like, you've got 3 seconds to make it or break it. And if they love you, you're a success. If they hate you, they're just gonna say boo and get off the stage, you know? I'm like, okay, you know, I don't take negative comments or negative feedback. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't even bother me, actually. I just laugh back. I mean, once I did a video, the first intro to this channel, so I shared it. 5 minutes in, I get a negative comment. And the comment was like, what the hell are you yapping on? Shut up. And my response was simple. You know what? You're totally right. What am I yapping on about? Thanks for your feedback. You see, then you get these people who troll around and like to show negative love around places. And you're like, do you guys not take a break in life? Because you're everywhere, up or down. I see you trolling around. What's up with you? And then that stopped me doing the lives. Why do I stop doing the lives? Easy. Because when I bring peace, love, and positive energy into my life, I expect the people in my life to be respected as well. You give respect, you get respect. But if I'm doing a live and I don't have a moderator, this will go wrong. Now, there's people in my life, you know, watching me talk or interacting with me, and I'm sitting there going. And you get one who jumps out, tries to be a smart and wants to play, you know, look at me, I'm going to show how cool I look. You don't look cool, by the way. And start, you know, hating people in the room, starts to cause a problem. You know? And those that need to understand that, you know, you can do that hiding behind your keyboard. The keyboard warriors, you know? They like to say what they want to say, and oh yeah, I'd like to say a lot to you too, but I ain't gonna burn my energy, baby. And you? That's like wasting energy, you know? Point is here, this. It's my viewers in there that's gonna get upset, you know? Not everyone's gonna be like me who can handle the criticism. Not everyone's gonna be like me who can handle negative energy. Not everybody's gonna be like me who can take the stupid comments. Is stupid a bad word? I don't know. So, looking at going forward on my channel, I'm looking at ways to improve. As I said in a couple of videos back, if you see me struggling with the communication, it's not because I can't communicate. No. I'm replacing words with better words. I don't use any foul language. I mean, I see some channels just use some foul language, you know? And that's not my comfort zone, you know, because I grew up like that with people speaking foul and so forth. But that ain't what I want to pass to the new generation. That's not what I'm going to leave behind my children to pick up, to be foul-mouthed, you know, walk around and and, you know, really. What about the basics in life? What about respecting the elderlies? What about being human being, you know? Have feelings. Where's everyone's feelings going? It's like people walk around like a zombie, you know? No feelings, nothing. They don't care. You know, they get on a train, they get on a bus, they get on somewhere, and it says for elderlies, and this young person sitting there doesn't even move. You see an elderly person standing. Where is your basic principles gone in life? Where is that, you know, heart feeling say, would you like to sit Actually, don't even ask me to sit. Say, please sit down. But no, you sit there. I'm tired. Really? You tired? Wow. See what I mean? Oh, really? So, Gen X telling you here that we had it hard, but we had basic morals in place. We had basic integrity. Here, we have a heart. We have empathy. And you can't remove empathy from me. You can't remove my heart from my chest. You know, there was a comment yesterday saying that on my emotional, it's a friend of mine, I know him, very dear to my heart. And he put a comment there saying about, you know, what can you do when your heart goes cold or people's heart goes cold? Let me tell you something about that. Your heart will only go cold when you allow it to go cold. And how does it go cold? By sitting around negative energy. By letting things that you know is wrong become normal in your life, which ain't right. And you know it ain't right. But you're allowing your heart to believe it's right. That's how your heart will turn to stone, by the way. Because what you see is wrong and you've convinced yourself is right. Don't. Because that's not what you should be learning. And it doesn't help today with movies and what you see on TV, right? That also intoxicates your brain, you know, making you see things wrong. That's right. So it's for entertainment. Don't get yourself confused into that. That's another thing, by the way. A movie's a movie. Leave it there. Don't act it in life thinking you're in the movies. I mean, motivation. Well, I gave one example, motivation versus discipline, right? So, how many of you out there watched Rocky? I'm sure everybody watched Rocky. And how many of you, like me included, I did the same thing, watch Rocky, next day you're up, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go and be fit, I'm gonna do this, and you start drinking all this raw eggs, and you're like running, and you go in to the gym, I'm gonna pump, and then you're like, fourth day, you're like, I don't do this anymore. Because I told you, motivational is short term. But you have discipline to push it forward. I ain't repeating my videos, by the way, but I'm just connecting the story to the story because I got loads of stories to share. I got loads of laughter to come. Laughter to bring, smiles to bring. That's better. So, feel good, you see? The more I talk, the better I am. And the better I am, the better I can focus. And when I can focus, I can bring stuff that you need to hear to you. But, and that word. The reason why I will remove that word, by the way, why I'm making an issue is because I noticed in one of someone's, was it my video? I can't remember. The word but was like used 50 times. And then, you know, you're trying to learn and fix your speech. I've done some courses on that, and you know, don't do repetitive words and so forth and blah, blah, blah. And so I don't want to sound one of those people because then you get a comment downstairs, but. They're right. Criticism. I don't care about criticism, but it's about me on this journey for self-improvement, right? So if you look at changing and willing to take criticism, constructive feedback, take it. But if you come and let people come to your channel and say, oh, you're this and you're that, and you know, your channel sucks and that, I'm like, yeah, I know it sucks. Cool, huh? Why are you here? I don't know. If you think it sucks, why are you still typing away? Because you know it does not. You know it does not suck. Because you know it doesn't suck. You know deep down your heart that my channel doesn't suck, nor does that person's channel suck that you put a comment on. Do you know why you said that? I'll tell you why. You don't like seeing people successful. Straight up to you. It's not about what you think, because your opinion is your opinion. But you need to sit there and plaster like everyone. Look at me. I got an opinion here in this room. I want to say something. Oh yeah? What do you want to say? This channel sucks. This person sucks. Thank you for your feedback. Now please leave. Nobody cares. Because what are you trying to do? Because I sure don't care. And I'm a person, I hope the person who owns that channel doesn't care. And if it affects them, my message to you is let them go. Because they do nothing but talk too much, you know? Here, we're supposed to be helping. So, now we're building a community to make change. What do I mean the community to make change? share the love, share the ways to become successful, share how to actually help people, you know. If somebody's demotivated, if somebody's demotivated, how to get them out of that demotivation energy and get them into the motivation energy. How to teach them discipline, how to balance it, how to, make a change in their life. How about we focus on that? How about we not focus on what's here and what's there and what's wrong and what's right? Listen, we're all adults here. We have children who's going to take on after us. So what example would you want to leave for your children? You tell me. You want them to be a heartless, moody, angry generation? No. You know the beautiful thing about this new generation, They want to learn. And they want to learn the things that we have, which is patience. Learn how to deal with emotions, control the emotions, learn how to deal with rejection, learn how to deal with things that we never went through, or we never had, best word for it, in life. So, do you really want to sit there and waste it by not giving your valuable time to people, helping the next generation, say, listen, when we went through our time in our generation, it was hard. We went through really hard times, We wasn't allowed to share emotions. We had to learn rejection the hard way in life. We had to go in there thinking, yes, we're going to conquer the world, and everyone goes smack in your face. You ain't going to conquer the world, shut up. And you're like, wow, this is not what I was taught, because you don't get that in a classroom. You don't get that in school, by the way. Well, in my days, I don't know about the new schooling system today, but, the things that are missing. So kids come home and they're upset because they called me this and he called me that, and they take it to heart. In our days, we're told, man up, be a man, slap around your face. Like, wow, yeah, it made me a man today, but we need to find a new way. That's not the right way, because the old way was wrong. However, what do? Think of a new strategy plan to put in place. The new generation needs us to teach them the good things that we have learned from our journeys, that is, and link it to this generation, the answer. So I hope it's clear. You have a responsibility to this generation, like I do. And my responsibility to this generation, which I'm talking about my children's generation, is to make sure they carry the torch, that the good things, and carry on to the next one, and the next one. Life goes through different cycles, Each generation is upgraded. So don't be one of those generations who ruins it for the next generation. Be the one that make history change, There's a lot of people out there who have so many answers to a lot of problems we have. What they do? Why would you lock it? If you have an answer to a problem, why don't share it? Why don't you let people learn from you? Or are you just greedy? Or you don't want to see people successful? Why don't you answer that way? Unless you're a person, this is an important one. If you're a person who understands what it's like to have nothing and to have it all, you appreciate it because you worked hard for it. Because life taught you. It ain't about the money. It's about you living. It's about you giving. It's about you being there and making the difference and making the impact. Not about let me eat everything in front of me, I'm humbled and humble for what I have. Starting over a couple of times makes you realize that. When you go in life and you see, and you know what it's like to be hungry in life, you know what it's like to sit there and go with nothing in life, you know what it's like to enjoy life. Because a lot of things in life we have, by the way, which back in the day in our generation meant a lot to us. Today it's like, that's boring. Really, that's boring? So what's sustaining for you? Quick things, But I'm done with this word. I don't want you to sit there and come and say he's gonna but. So anyway, let's call this one a wrap, I think, right? I think I'm yapping too much. As he said, you yap too much. What are you yapping about? Shut up. Thank you. So therefore, I'm going to shut up and end this one.